Hello, all. I hope you're having a great day. I'm always telling you guys how important it is for you not to give up on your dreams, for you to keep pushing. I don't care how hard it looks, what it looks like, that you can absolutely do whatever you put your mind to. So I wanted to share with you one of my former clients' story. Her name is Cheryl. I met Cheryl, some years ago when I first became a life coach. I was teaching a class at a state college, a leadership development class, and she was in that class. She was working towards her nursing degree. And as always, when I introduce myself, I let them know that I'm also a life coach. I was still a life coach at that time. I hadn't gotten my mindset coaching certification yet. And after that class, after that semester was done, that next semester, I heard from Cheryl. Cheryl reached out to me. She kept my email address and she wanted to chat just a little bit. And when we started talking, Cheryl was just kind of distraught. She was really upset. She wanted to, in her words, she wanted to figure out what it is that she was supposed to be doing because she had not done so well in nursing. So I wanted to know, well, what was going on, and she said that she was close to finishing her degree in nursing, but that she had failed the last two classes, and she was starting to doubt herself and starting to feel like nursing just wasn't for her. But also, she had to work nights, and she had four kids. She had two older ones and two little ones. And she had made a deal with her older ones that while she was in school, that they would help her with the little ones. And she felt really bad about that. She felt super guilty. She felt like she was neglecting her children, and she felt like she was putting more responsibility on her older ones than they should have. But she had made a deal with them, and she told them, if you just let me get through school, things in our lives are going to be a whole lot better, and I'm going to be able to do some things with you guys and for you guys that I haven't been able to do. So let me back up just a bit. Before Cheryl started nursing school, she had been married. She had the four kids. She wound up going through a terrible, terrible divorce. And all of the kids were not her husband's, and so it was just a big mess, and she wound up getting only child support for the kids. But then there were times when he wouldn't pay child support, so it was just a big mess. And so she was just supporting her kids on her own. She felt like she was on her own, and so she was working different. One of the things that she told me was that she felt like she had lost herself during her marriage. She lost her identity. She hadn't finished school when she got married, and so that's why she had to go back to school. And so she was working at little odds and ends jobs, like in retail, just trying to make ends meet. And so she really just got into nursing because she felt like it was a means to an end. She knew it would be a good occupation. She knew she would make good money. She knew she would be able to provide for her kids. So it wasn't really like, oh, this is my purpose, this is my calling, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So when she got to the point where, first of all, she had been, skipping some semesters because she had to work with her kids and be there for her kids. So she was already behind. She was in year 3 when she should have graduated in year 2. And then this last semester, when she reached out to me, she had just failed 2 classes. And, she said those were the toughest classes, and that she just didn't know if she was even capable of doing them, because she just, and so she just really didn't know what to do at that point. And so she was reaching out to me. And so we set up a plan to work with her. And I worked with her on what I call my awareness model. And it talks about how your thoughts lead to your actions, your action leads to how your thoughts leads to your words leads to your action, and your action leads to results. We also talked about her success blueprint, understanding where her success blueprint came from. Another thing that we worked with her on was the selling yourself to yourself model, and finally rewriting her story, helping her to see what her story would look like if she finished and did what she said that she was going to do, and what it would look like if she didn't. By the time we were done with her coaching sessions, Cheryl was pumped. She was inspired. She was like, okay, you know what? I still don't know if this is what I'm supposed to be doing, but I do know that I'm not a quitter. I do know that the legacy that I'm going to leave for my kids is that you finish what you started, and I'm going to go ahead and finish this, and then we will go on from there. And that's exactly what Cheryl did. Cheryl went and she took those classes, and we also worked with helping her to learn how to delegate and how to ask for help. That's one of the things that particularly women, you know what, I won't even say that, men as well have such a problem asking for help when we need help. We think we're super people, we think we're supermen and superwomen, and we struggle with asking for help. And so we work with her on being okay with being vulnerable, being okay with saying, I need help, being okay with calling dad, deadbeat dad or whomever, being okay with calling uncle, calling grandmother, calling auntie, saying, listen, I'm trying to reach a goal here and I need help. So bottom line is Cheryl finished those classes. She graduated. Today, Cheryl is a registered nurse, and Cheryl has come back to me several times. Every time I see her, sometime I see her in a store somewhere or what have you, and she would say, thank you so very much, because you told me the truth. And if I had quit when I wanted to quit, I would not have found my calling. I would not have found my purpose. Ironically, today, Cheryl believes that nursing is actually her purpose and her calling. She absolutely loves what she's doing. And she says, even during COVID, it was crazy, crazy tough, right? But she loves taking care of her patients. And she's been able to keep her promises to her kids, and they've moved into a home. And so anyway, the bottom line is that Cheryl stuck it out and she didn't quit. She didn't give up on her goals. And what she tells me that she's most proud of is keeping her word to herself. And so that's what I want to encourage you today, that, in Cheryl's words, that if you keep your word to yourself, one day you'll be proud that you did. So I encourage you to, when things get tough, listen, call somebody. This is not a sales pitch, right? So I'm not saying call me. I am saying sometimes you might have a friend that you can talk to that's going to be super, super honest with you. Sometimes you might have a mentor. There might be that family member that's going to be super, super honest. In Cheryl's case, her friends were siding with her, and they were kind of like, you got 4 kids, and I don't know how you're going to do that. That's just tough, and they really didn't see the big picture that I was able to help her to see. So whatever you have to do, whoever you have to call for help to help you continue working towards your goal, I just encourage you to do that. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your dreams, because one day, in Cheryl's words, you will be proud that you didn't. Have a great evening.